All right, listen. So you're being greedy. Let me tell you why. There's this concept I have called passion greed. And as I've gotten into my life and really gone after what I wanted and start to define it, there's so many people I see making this mistake. So it's really important to take a few minutes to understand this concept because it'll change your life. So passion greed is pretty much expecting to know exactly what you want right now before you take action. And this is why it's so detrimental, because in order to know what you want, you have to take action on a hunch. So imagine you have this like golden, I call it the golden compass in your chest, right? It's like, it kind of knows which direction you want to go. Way off in the distance, there's like a North Star. It's like kind of guiding you that way. But there's a bunch of clouds, there's a whole path. Like there's no possible way that you know exactly how to get to that North Star. You just kind of feel like this is the direction I should go, right? So let's say you want to be a life coach, or you want to be like a historian, or you want to go and be an actor, or you have this desire to like go help people, right? Or you have this desire to be in the artistic realm somewhere. So many people, they have this passion greed where they say, no, before I know exactly what I want, I'm not taking action. And I don't recommend doing that, because what's happening right now is you're already getting signs from your body that this is the direction you should go. And if you go in this direction on a hunch, what's going to happen is you're going to take a step forward, you're going to learn, you're going to use your emotions to tell you what's right, what's wrong about the situation, and then you're going to keep baby stepping forward. And then eventually, what's going to happen is one day you're going to look backwards and go, oh, that was the path. That's crystal clear. But there's absolutely no possible way that you can figure out the path by looking forward. You just have to figure it out looking backwards. But I can promise you that your body's built in with like this normal, amazing system, it's your emotions, that's gonna guide you in the general direction. So let me give you my example. Before I really knew I wanted to be a life coach, I knew I wanted to help people. That's what I knew. So I went through all these jobs. I've worked at 23 different jobs, and I knew I always wanted to help people. I wanted to be an event planner, I wanted to do weddings, I wanted to do food and like help people and feed people. And then I wanted to go and sell people cars. Like I'm like, oh cool, I can help them do that and be the honest car salesman, right? And then I'm like, oh, I can go teach people Spanish, and then I can go work in a psych hospital. Like all these things I tried in order to kind of fill that role of like helping people. But as I took action, I realized some things along the way. I'm like, wait a minute, excuse me. I want to help people, but I also want to make a lot of money. And I want to help people, but I also want to live wherever I want. And I want to help people in the way that I want to help people. And I want to be able to take vacations and have my schedule set up how I wanted. And eventually, it became crystal clear I want to become a life coach. And now it's like, I'm so dead set on this path, there's absolutely no uncertainty at all. This doesn't even exist. But people look at me and they say, oh, I'm so jealous. Or they look at someone else that's like famous and successful. Like, oh, I'm so jealous. They knew exactly what they wanted when they were a kid. It's like they actually didn't. Even people who are young, like my aunt, when she was like 5 years old, she's like, I want to be a lawyer. But she could have gone into, she is a lawyer now. She could have gone into that path and found out she hated it. But she had a hunch, and she was brave enough to listen to that hunch. Now, so many of us, we're just greedy to know exactly what we want to do, and we're unwilling to take action until we figure it out. And then we get frustrated at the world, right? Like it's the world's fault that we're not listening to our emotional guidance system. So it's like, if you don't know what you're doing with your life, take a few minutes to just like cut all the distractions out and learn to listen to your body. So many people, they come to me, they say, I'm completely lost. It's like, well, you're not completely lost, actually. It's not a knowing issue. Your body knows exactly what you're supposed to do with your life. I promise you. It's not a knowing issue. It's a listening issue. And why do we have listening issues? Well, there's a couple of reasons, right? For one, our society is filled with instant gratification. So it's very easy to distract ourselves away from the uncomfortable knowing inside of us, right? We can go and smoke weed every day. We can go gamble. Sorry, guys, I'm getting over a cold. We can go and drink alcohol. We can go and get like sugary foods and go and spend our entire day like going to McDonald's and feeling all that dopamine that rushes in our body. So we're designed to avoid discomfort. We're designed by our society, we're taught to avoid anything that's going to be uncomfortable. And then we have all these distractions. And what happens to people, especially in modern societies, is when we are using distractions to avoid all the uncomfortable emotions that we experience as human beings, we're also using those distractions to avoid the natural desire we have inside that's trying to guide us forward. So if you have no idea what you're doing with your life, you already know. I just want to let you know that. That should be such a relief that you know. You might not know exactly what you're supposed to do 10 years in the future, but your body has a good idea of where to start. And if you have no idea where to start, it's because you're numbing over all of your emotions, not just the bad ones, but also the good ones with too many distractions. So what I want to recommend is you take 5 minutes to do the exercise below. It's going to help orient you towards a first step. And it's going to give you a lot of certainty on taking at least one step forward. And once you take that step forward, you're going to learn something. And it might not be what you want to learn, but you're going to learn something that's going to guide you into the next step. Don't be greedy to know exactly what your dream is right now, or I promise you, you're never going to go after anything. And that's unfortunate, right? So many people live like that. Life is a journey, and it's all about the climb. I'm sorry. There's that Miley Cyrus video. There's that Miley Cyrus video going on right now where she's like, you know, the journey's the hardest part. And I'm leaving this in my training video because it's hilarious. So thank you. Do the exercise. Watch this thing back. Don't be greedy for passion. It will really reveal itself as you take action and you learn how to listen to your emotions. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you next week.